Did you know your sense of balance is a full-body conversation involving far more than just your legs or your inner ear? In fact, every part of your body, from your head to your toes, plays a role in keeping you upright and steady. Your big toe, for example, is a key player, acting as a tiny anchor that keeps you steady even when you don't realize it. Pressing your big toe into the ground sends a signal to your brain. I am here, I am stable. This simple action can make a huge difference in your balance. This connection is a perfect example of how your body's systems work together, constantly sharing information to help you move with confidence. Your eyes, inner ear, and feet all send information to your brain, which keeps you upright. Even your skin and joints contribute to this ongoing conversation. Most of us never think about this, but it's happening every moment, whether you're walking, standing, or even just shifting your weight. When you feel unsteady, like tripping or walking on uneven ground, your body's communication system kicks in. Your toes grip, your core tightens, your arms may reach out, and your brain quickly processes how to keep you safe. You regain balance, often without thinking, thanks to this incredible teamwork happening inside you. But if we don't challenge this system, it can get rusty. Like any skill, balance needs practice and attention to stay sharp. Improving balance isn't about secrets or strength. It's about reconnecting with these basics and tuning into your body's signals. Pay attention to the feeling of your big toe on the floor. Notice how it grounds you and helps you feel more secure. Wake up those lines of communication that may have gone quiet. Even small movements can help reawaken your body's natural balance system. By focusing on these simple connections, you can rebuild your foundation from the ground up, making every step more confident. Remember, balance starts with the smallest details, like your big toe. Paying attention to these details can transform the way you move through life. Meet Sarah, a woman in her 30s who has always felt a little out of sync with the world around her. As a librarian, she's surrounded by order and quiet, but inside, she often felt clumsy and disconnected from her own body. She'd bump into tables, miss doorknobs, or stumble on flat floors, small everyday moments that slowly chipped away at her confidence. She started moving more cautiously, always second-guessing herself, and avoided carrying full cups and always used the handrail, even for just a few steps, as if it was a lifeline. Even simple tasks like reaching for a book on a high shelf or putting on a sock in the morning felt unexpectedly challenging and sometimes even embarrassing. Friends would joke about her clumsiness, laughing off her mishaps as just classic Sarah, but deep down it bothered her more than she let on. She felt isolated by her struggles. She remembered being a carefree kid, running and climbing without a second thought, never worrying about falling or stumbling. Now she felt off-kilter, both physically and emotionally, as if her body no longer belonged to her. The idea of aging with poor balance worried her, making her anxious about the future and what it might hold. She didn't want to accept this as her new normal, or resign herself to a life of caution and fear. Sarah wanted to feel strong and capable again, to move through life with confidence and ease. She longed to trust her body, to feel at home in her own skin, but didn't know where to start or how to begin. The frustration grew until one day she decided something had to change. She couldn't keep living this way. She realized she didn't have to settle for feeling unsteady, that there might be a way forward. Sarah was ready to take the first step toward regaining her balance, even if it felt daunting at first. She just needed a place to begin, a starting point, a small spark of hope. And that's where her journey started, with a single hopeful step toward a steadier, more confident life. Sarah chose yoga as her starting point, but she was nervous. The idea of moving her body in unfamiliar ways, even in the privacy of her own home, made her heart race. She wondered if she'd be able to keep up, or if she'd just end up feeling silly. Instead of joining a class, she found a beginner's video and unrolled her mat at home. The living room became her studio, a safe space where she could try, stumble, and try again without anyone watching. The instructor's calm encouragement helped her try, even when her movements were shaky. The gentle reminders to breathe and go at her own pace soothed her nerves. Standing on one leg, her ankle wobbled, and she could barely hold the pose for a second. Her arms flailed for balance, and she felt a surge of frustration, but also a spark of determination. But she remembered, "Find what feels good." That phrase became her anchor, a gentle permission to let go of perfection. She practiced lifting each foot, holding for a breath and setting it down. Each attempt, no matter how brief, was a small victory. 10 minutes each morning became her routine. The quiet of early daylight made it easier to focus, and the repetition brought comfort. Some days she felt stable, other days she wobbled everywhere, but she learned that progress wasn't always a straight line. Using a wall for support eased her fear of falling and let her focus on her standing leg. It was a simple adjustment, but it made all the difference. She noticed how her weight shifted across her foot. Details she'd never felt before. The mat became a place to explore, not just perform. The sessions became less about perfect poses and more about checking in with herself. She started to notice her breath, her heartbeat, and the way her mind wandered. She learned to be patient, listening to her body's signals instead of getting frustrated. Each pause was a chance to reset, not a setback. The wobbles became part of the process, not something to fear. They were proof that she was trying, learning, and growing stronger. Each small effort built her confidence. She began to look forward to her practice, even on the days when balance seemed impossible. Sarah realized that showing up, even imperfectly, was the most important step. The act of returning to the mat, day after day, mattered more than any pose. Her journey wasn't about looking like the instructor. It was about reconnecting with her own body. She learned to trust herself, to listen, and to move with intention. The first wobbly steps were the foundation for everything that followed. They were proof that beginnings are often imperfect, but always worthwhile. She was finally moving forward, one breath and one step at a time, and she was just getting started with a newfound sense of hope and possibility. Tree pose, or Vrksasana, was a breakthrough for Sarah. She started by standing tall, pressing her foot down and spreading her toes. Lifting her other foot to her ankle, she felt her standing leg work hard to keep her upright. Focusing on a spot on the wall helped her quiet the fear of falling. She learned to breathe deeply and make tiny adjustments in her ankle and foot. Pressing down through her big toe anchored her. Over time, she moved her foot higher, from ankle to calf, then to her inner thigh. Each improvement felt like a victory. Tree pose taught her that balance is an active process, not a static one. The micro movements in her foot and leg were the real magic. She learned patience and persistence, celebrating every small gain. Standing tall, hands at her heart, she felt strong and rooted. Tree pose became a symbol of her progress. She was growing one breath at a time. Warrior Two, or Virabhadrasana 2, was another key pose for Sarah. She stood with feet wide, one foot turned out, the other slightly in, and bent her front knee. Stretching her arms out, she felt her legs shake and her muscles burn. At first it was exhausting, but a simple cue changed everything. Ground down through both feet, using her back leg as an anchor, distributed the effort and made her feel more stable. Warrior Two built strength in her legs, ankles, shoulders, and core. This strength made all her balance poses easier. She learned to find calm within the effort, focusing on her breath. Warrior Two wasn't just about physical strength, it taught her mental endurance. She learned to stay with discomfort and breathe through it. The pose grounded her mind as much as her body. Sarah began to see herself as steady and powerful. Warrior Two became a lesson in resilience. It showed her that balance is built on both strength and focus, and it gave her the confidence to keep going. As Sarah's confidence grew, she tried Eagle Pose, Garudasana. This pose, with its twisted arms and legs, was a true test of balance and focus. At first, she could barely cross her legs, let alone hook her foot behind her calf. She laughed at her wobbles but stayed patient. Using a modification, she crossed her thigh and rested her toes on the floor for support. Eagle Pose forced her to balance on a narrow base, engaging her standing leg and ankle. It demanded total concentration, no room for distractions. Gradually, she lifted her toes off the floor, then managed to hook her foot behind her calf. Some days were steady, others not, but she embraced the wobble. Eagle Pose taught her that progress isn't linear. It's about showing up, trying and learning from each attempt. The pose brought together strength, flexibility, and focus. Sarah learned to trust her body, even when it felt uncertain. Eagle Pose became a powerful teacher on her journey. Sarah's yoga practice started with balance, but the benefits rippled through her life. Her flexibility improved. She could now touch the floor with ease. She felt stronger, carrying groceries and lifting boxes without worry. Her core engaged naturally. and her posture improved. She walked taller and felt more capable in daily life. The mental benefits surprised her most. Focus and patience from the mat helped her at work, and in stressful moments she became more present, less scattered, and kinder to herself. Her relationship with her body transformed from frustration to gratitude. She listened to its needs and responded with care. The clumsy, unpredictable feeling faded away. She saw her body as a partner, not an obstacle. The greatest gift was a sense of wholeness and connection. Yoga had changed her from the inside out. Today, Sarah moves with quiet confidence. Clumsiness is a distant memory. Stumbles no longer scare her. Her body knows how to recover. Strong ankles, engaged core, steady footing. Small victories like carrying tea or tying her shoe on one leg feel huge. Yoga's lessons extend beyond the mat. Balance is a dance between effort and ease, stability and movement. This understanding helps her handle life's ups and downs with grace. The fear of aging has been replaced by excitement for the future. She knows she can keep building strength and balance for years to come. Sarah's story proves it's never too late to reconnect with your body. Small, consistent steps lead to profound change. She found her footing and a stronger, more confident self, and she's ready for whatever comes next. Sarah's journey is possible for anyone. Your body is designed for balance and strength. You just need to wake it up. You don't need perfect poses to begin, only curiosity and a willingness to try. Start with a single step. Notice your feet on the floor, your big toe pressing down. Try standing on one leg while brushing your teeth. Embrace the wobbles. They're your body learning. Be gentle and patient with yourself. Balance is a personal practice, not a performance. Every breath is a chance to connect. By starting, you're investing in your long-term health and confidence. If you want more guidance, join our community for simple, supportive practices. Let's find what feels good together. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you on the mat.